for the hardworking people all across this Commonwealth. He has served on the Education Committee since elected and continues to advocate for our public schools and to ensure a bright future is in the reach of every child in every school throughout Pennsylvania. Yeah. Daylin also believes that we need to believe in science and the existential challenges to our state and to our country as a whole. He has served on the Environmental Resources and Energy Committees in Harrisburg and has helped us work to preserve open space and also encouraging the adoption of green technology to save energy costs while also saving our environment. I mean, one simple example of this is encouraging the state to actually have hybrid cars as part of the fleet, so you're saving energy costs and the environment at the same time. Most importantly, Daylin knows the true representation means representing everybody in the district, regardless of party. Equality starts with trying to get people to the help they need, just like every parent focuses on their children's needs before their wants. Gerrymandering, especially here in the 7th Congressional District, means we have to work even harder to find those common goals in this diverse district, and it's so spread out as well. But we're only going to succeed if we have somebody like Daylin Leach, who really understands that democracy turns on everybody having a voice, and that in DC, they're there to represent our needs. He will focus the discussion where it needs to be focused, making sure that every one of us and our children, and their children as well, have a fighting chance to live out our dreams in this great country. Daylin is not just a good Democrat. He's not just a good progressive. He's a good person. He is a moral and ethical guy who knows what it's like not to give up, even if the battle looks like it's nothing but uphill all the way. He doesn't believe in canned. We need more people like this who believe that the job and the responsibility of representing constituents is the largest responsibility and the greatest honor any of us can have as elected officials. Because he is willing to fight so hard, because he fights the fight for people who need his help, just like he had help getting to where he is today. That is why I am here, hoping that each and every one of you will join me in supporting and fully endorsing Daylin Leach for Congress.
If that's for me, I'm not here. I thought I would start off by ending the unbearable suspense which has gripped this room. I will be a candidate for Congress. This is not, can you hear me okay? This is not a decision I've come to lightly or easily. Over 40 years of political activism, including 15 years fighting the tough battles in Harrisburg, my efforts are in a lot of ways, as we've heard, paying off. I'm moving in and passing extremely important legislation, including recently bills on human trafficking, which were discussed, and reforming our criminal justice system. And I'm proud to have passed the bill, which when I first introduced it, I could not get a single co-sponsor for. But I found great people to work with. We reached across the aisle and we passed the most important piece of social legislation in the last 40 years, the medical marijuana bill. This law will save thousands of lives every year, both through the direct medicinal benefits as well as the dramatic reduction in opioid deaths we've seen in other states that have similar protocols. But this law will not only ease suffering, it will usher in a huge new industry in Pennsylvania, which will create thousands of jobs and brings hundreds of millions of dollars to the Pennsylvania coffers to help Pennsylvanians live better lives. As was discussed, I've also brought my legal training into the battle for justice. I fought voter suppression efforts in the legislature, and when we passed the worst voter ID law in the country, I joined with other people to sue, and we got that obscene law struck down. And when the legislature passed the law that said the NRA could sue any municipality that tried in any way to keep their citizens safe. I sued, I won, and the Supreme Court unanimously struck down that offer. I'm proud to be a leader in efforts to resist the current administration, Donald Trump, and more about him later. And to be named National President of Americans for Democratic Action, the most storied progressive organization in the country. Plus, Brendan and Justin, our children, are now teenagers, driving and looking at colleges and beating me in sports. And I know that, like Jen and like many of you in a similar situation, I already feel the profound weight of them leaving us and going to start their own life journeys, and I want to spend every moment I can with them. However, I had to weigh this against the unique situation